Grow Money Grow proudly presents how to make up to $10,000 per trade with Forex Trader. Hi, my name is Corey Smythe, and I'm proud to show you a course I have developed in which its sole objective is to teach you how to consistently make highly profitable trades in the Forex market. Here is what you'll learn in the course. You'll learn the best indicators to use and their settings to produce the most accurate entry signals. You will learn the secret combination of entry signals that will increase your chances of success. You will learn how to effectively manage open trades for maximum profitability and minimal risk. You will learn how to accurately draw trend lines and adjust them in relation to evolving price action. And you will learn how to effectively scale into trending trades. So once a trade has been identified, whether it's a long or a short, you'll be able to allocate more opportunities to enter that trade. As you can see from this chart here, there are 4 extra opportunities, according to the Forex Trader trading system, that have allowed us to enter onto this trade and take a total profit of 3,119 pips. And most importantly, you will learn the art of stress-free trading. So let's take a look at the strategy in action.
Okay, so we're just going to have a look at some charts now, and we'll have a look at the entry signals, okay, and the potential profits that this strategy will provide you. So I just first I want to clarify that this is not some magical hyped up indicator system. What you're going to learn in this course is actual trading strategies on how to profit in the market. So it'll teach you how to analyze what's going on in the market and how to position your trades and manage your trades effectively. What it's not going to do is not going to give you some magic little indicator that will beep in front of you and go enter now. Okay, you still have to physically look and identify using the indicators and the trade setup that you will learn within the course. Okay, so what I have in front of me here is entry positions into the market on the Aussie-US currency pair, okay, of a 60-minute chart, and these are the entry positions that were signaled by the trade setups that you will learn within the course. Okay, so obviously, within this promotional video now, I can't show you what all those indicator settings are and how to enter these things with those settings. But what I've done is I've just marked on the chart here the places where entries would occur. Okay, so the main component of the course is, for one, for us to be able to identify swing changes in currency pairs. Okay, so what I mean by swing changes is currency pairs. Just keep in mind, I haven't done anything on this back part here, but when price movement's going from an uptrend, okay, and then swings to a downtrend. All right, so on this chart here, the larger arrows, okay, indicate our change in trend direction. All right, so this red arrow here indicates to us that our entry signals have been triggered for a trend direction change from a longer trend, okay, to a short trend. So we would be looking at placing our trade, okay, a first short trade into the market at this point, just here, at this price point. Alright, and keep in mind that would have been signaled by the entry signals that you will learn in the course. Okay, now the idea of this strategy is we want to try and ride and profit this whole movement out. Okay, so we would get an entry signal here, okay, and then we would have an exit signal down here, okay, where our trend changes, okay, or finishes. So just so we can have an understanding of the price movement in the move like this. So our entry signal would be here, and this trade would be managed all the way until you get a exit signal here. Okay. Now this is not a very large one, but that's 191 pips profit. Alright. So basically $1,900 trade, trading standard loss. Okay. Now the key to this strategy is, one is to be jumping on possible long-term trades, okay, because others are more profitable, some are more profitable than others, I should say, okay, and also once that trade, that long-term position has been identified, you want to be able to do what we call scaling in on that trade, so basically finding more opportunities to jump on that trend, okay. So the second little chart markers I've put up here are all the other entry signals that would be identified with this trade. Okay, so every little red arrow here, alright, is another opportunity for us to be jumping on this trend. Now we've already identified from our original entry signal here that it's moved into a downward trend. Okay, so any trade we were to jump on it would be a short trade. So not only would you be profiting from this longer trade here, but you would also profit from each one of these individual short-term trades. Okay, or sorry, scaling in trades, I should say. And they would all basically have an exit point at the same place. Now, not only, there one there, just quickly go through here. Not only would you looking at taking in the long trend of this trade here, okay, all of these trades, you would also be looking at profiting from the short movement in each one of these trades. Where is one here? Okay. And there's one more there. And that last one would have been an actual bit of a loss of 32 pips, alright, on the long-term trade. So you can see here, now not only would we locked in our 200 pips, okay, to start with, we then collected another 170, another 146, so let's look at calculation here, so it's 270, 370, 430, okay, another 100, so it's 530, 610, and we'll say these two cancel each other out, okay. So now we've gone from this one short identification trade from making 200 pips to making 610 pips, okay. And that is holding the positions that we take right until the end and the trade changes. Alright. But what you also learn in the course is that each one of these entries that you take, okay, you will also do a short-term trade management on that. Alright. Now, I won't go too much into it at this point, but each one of them you'll be looking at taking a smaller profit percentage, okay, normally works out to be about between 60, to 100, 120 pips, okay. So you'll be looking at just taking this type of moves here, alright, because as you already identify, price is always bouncing up and down in particular directions, whether it's going up, down, or sideways, alright. So that also offers more profit potential. But for this promotional video, we're just going to have a talk about these long-term sort of trade movements. But there's definitely plenty of opportunities through making trades. And what we're looking at doing, okay, is taking trades that give us good, profitable entry signals, but also trades that require low risk. So, we wouldn't want to be entering trades way down here, okay, and having trade management stop losses way up here, because if the trade did swing against us, we could seem to lose a lot of money there. So there's our downtrend. These are all the extra trades we would have picked up in that downtrend. And then we get an uptrend signal. So now the market's telling us that we've moved into an uptrend. So our uptrend starts to continue up. Okay, and this uptrend here finishes around here for us. So there'd be a profit of this uptrend to here. Okay, and there's 150 pips there, and there's another entry point onto the market here. Alright, with this one, we go up here, so another 50, so there's 200 pips there. Now here is where our signal, okay, signals us in for a short trend. Alright, but obviously the short trend fails on us and we move back into an upward trend. And you know, I really want to show you guys that there are times where the signals are going to fail. Okay, there's no strategy out there that's 100% perfect. But what trading is about is consistency and consistently making profits out of the market. Okay, and when we do make a loss, we want to make sure that our loss is minimal. Alright, so our loss on this one, we would have entered the trade here. Okay, and I've just marked this little black square here. This is where that trade would have been stopped out. Okay, and we would have had a 28 pip loss, 30 pip loss, which is very manageable. Okay, it's a nice small loss. It's like, you know, it's part of casualty volatility. Okay, it's part of the game. But that loss, that stop out, okay, then also identified with us a long-term entry signal. So again, we jump on here with a long term, okay, and we will be profiting that until here. So now we've got another 90 pips profit in there. Alright, so we'll keep moving along. Our trading signals would give us a short-term trend, okay, and this short-term trend, or short trade trend I should say, not short-term trend, but short trade, proceeds all the way through, you can see, all the way down to here. Okay, and we'd actually get stop lost or stopped out on this trade just around these points here. So let's say a bit of a grasp of what's going on. We'll short-term trade would go into this here. Okay, and just bear with me for a second. I just scroll along so we can process this one. Okay, and as I scroll along here, you can see all the other red downward arrows that would give us other opportunities to enter into this short trend. Okay, so you can see there's numerous. So the first short-term indicator that we received was that large red arrow, and that identified to us that a short trend has begun. Now, no one knows how long these trends are going to last. Okay, there's no magic genie in the bottle for this stuff. Right? But what you want to do is you want to make sure that when a short trend has been identified, you want to be on the thing. Okay, that's all there is to it, and you want to try and stay on it as long as possible. Right? So that short trend will take us down about here, and here we would have made 1,276 pips, which is $12,700. Okay, so it's a $12,000 trade just there, and that's just by entering one trade, all right, and doing some daily trade management strategy on top of that. Okay, now here we go with the next move of it. Now remember, each one of these red arrows, all right, we'll be looking at taking some short-term profits out of it. Okay, but even more importantly, each one of these red arrows will also contribute, okay, and take a large-term profit. So, you know, the idea of this strategy is if we're confident enough to enter this trade in a short fashion at this point here, and then identify other opportunities where we can jump on a short trade, okay, we want to ride it out as long as we can. All right. Yeah, it's great to take a little bit of profit, 80 pips here and there, and keep doing that. And there's opportunities to do that. Don't get me wrong, we will be doing that. All right, but why not? All right, for all the risk you do to jump on a trade, why not take the whole, as much as you can out of it? All right, so I won't do all of this, it will take us forever, but let's just have a quick look. You'll be jumping on here again. Just so you understand how powerful this is. Let's go through here. You can just see that there's so many opportunities here. Now if you jump in on again, let's see what we get. The same exit point as our first trade, alright, because we will use the same money management strategy or stop loss strategy on the way down here. And you can see the second trade made us $12,200. So it's only 76 pips shy of the first one. Alright. Now imagine, so we've got 4,000 plus 12,000, $24,000 off this trade. Okay, and here we go on again. That's approximately another 12,000. Alright, now we're up to 36,000. Here's probably 11,000. Okay, probably down here, up to another 10,000. Alright, so this trade, if you keep adding all of these up, and I'm not going to do it right now because I don't want to bore you forever, but have a look at the profit potential here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I should say this one here, excuse me. This one here was actually a stop out. Okay, so I'll just quickly clarify that for you. Okay, so even though we were in a downtrend, our money management stopped us out on this one. Alright, now it was just a short stop out. Okay, and it would have only been, let's just have a quick look. Alright, you would have entered the trade here, let's look out here. So we would have lost about 80 pips there. Okay, some clarity there. Let's count again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, not count that one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we had another little stop out here. 13. Okay, so 13. These trades. This whole trade, jumping on all these opportunities, okay, would have easily netted you, in the 80,000, nearly $100,000 mark, depending on how much you trade off that. Okay, but there's huge potential opportunities. Okay, and this is the beauty of this type of trading style that you'll learn in the course, is that once we've identified the direction of the trend and we're happy with it because of our indicators have told us, our settings have told us that this is what's happening with the market right now. The market is going short on the Aussie US. Okay, that's the movement of it. And then all we need to do is look at more opportunities to add on to that position, to jump onto that short-term trend of the market. Right? And it'll take us all the way down here until we get our signal that says, hey, that short run, that nice little short run that we've made, the short trends, okay, has finished. And now the market is telling us, okay, or indicators are telling us, I should say, that the market has decided to move into an upward trend. Alright, and so again, bang, we would jump on here. This is our first upward trend signal for us, okay, and here with the little green triangles would be 3 more opportunities to be jumping on this upward trend. Alright, and basically here we've just come up to this present day right now. Alright, and we're really not sure right now where the market's going to take us. Alright, but our stop loss, okay, is sitting just about here at the moment. Alright, so if the market does move down through that, we're going to get stopped out on our positions. Alright, more than likely what's going to happen, okay, is our indicator is going to change, and it's going to let us know that a short-term trend has developed. Alright, and so that's basically what this trading is all about. Is it's making money for one thing. That's what trading is about to start with, but it's about strongly identifying the direction of the trend. Okay, first and foremost, and then once that's identified, finding more opportunities to jump on that trend. Alright? Now, yes, there will be times where you'll get an indicator, that tells us, yep, we're on a short trend move that's happened now, alright, with our indicator settings, but with strong trade management on that, okay, we'll have small losses, alright, that occur from that, okay, because that's just what I've got something witty there, but basically that's just what our settings give us, okay, is if you trade with the trade management plan that you're on the course, it won't allow you to lose great amount of money, alright. So that's basically it. So that's the Aussie US. So, and I just want to be transparent with you, just so you understand, and I've just grabbed it from present day. I could keep tracking back if you wanted to, but we've only got a certain amount of time here. All right. That's basically it. This is what we're looking at within our strategy. Right? So let's move on.
Here is what's inside the course. The course consists of 5 learning modules and training sessions to help you master the strategies learned in the course. Module 1 is all about profitable indicator settings. Module 2 is how to accurately draw trend lines. Module 3 is about trade entry management. Module 4 is about scaling into the trend. And Module 5 is all about pullback trades. And you also receive a special bonus, which is my personal trading plan in PDF form. So at any time, without having to look at the videos, you can take a quick glance at the trading plan and know exactly what you need to do. So stop fighting the markets and learn to go with the flow with Forex Trader. So the question is, how much does the course cost? I am confident that by now you would agree that this course would be worth well over $10,000. In fact, there are many other courses on the market that cost that or a lot more. And I'm also aware that by charging $10,000 for this course, I would make it unaffordable for the majority of people who could really benefit from it. So, for an introductory offer, I am willing to grant you access to the entire course for just $1,000. Now that is a tenth of what it is actually worth. And as you've already seen, with one trade on the Forex Trader, you would quite easily recoup that investment. In fact, I'm so confident that you will invest in this course and profit with it that I'm going to give you immediate access to Module 1 of the course, absolutely free. All you need to do is just sign up with your email address to get instant access now.